Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Janet, and today's class we're going to be focusing on headstand, which seems to be one of those postures that people want to be able to do, or that you kind of envision a yogi should be able to do. So we're just going to break it down a little bit and build you towards having the best chance of getting upside down. You're more than welcome to use a wall. If you have anything going on with your neck, I would recommend just doing dolphin, and you're still going to get those benefits of building your upper body strength without hurting your neck. Okay, so we're going to come onto our backs for a little bit of core work. So you'll take your legs long and just one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. And a moment just to arrive. And take a deep breath in. Full breath out. And you're just finding that smooth, steady breath. So that there's a sense of centeredness, equanimity in approaching something like this or going upside down. We kind of move away from needing there to be a result and just really finding joy in the process. So really try to avoid forcing anything. It's really good to be careful with your neck and going upside down. Take one more deep breath in and out. Great. You're going to bring your legs together. Some of you have done this with me before. Flex your feet. You have one leg. Take the hands behind your head. We're just going to do a little bit of core work. So what we're doing is we're kind of engaging our upper abs to keep our ribs from flaring. There's going to be a natural curve underneath your lower back. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. So you're sliding the rib cage towards your hips. Good. Inhale to lower. And exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Good, keep going, breathe in. And out. Legs are really firm. Press your heels, press your thighs down. Inhale. And exhale, lift. So it's like you're lifting from your shoulder blades or from your bra line. Breathe in. And lift. 4. And release. And 3, so try to really use your abs, not the neck. And 2. Last one, lift and hold. Little pulses, lower halfway and lift. Halfway and lift, yeah. Ribs to hips, ribs to hips. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold up. Good. Wrap the elbows. Try to lift your elbows higher. Lift for 3. Hold. 2. And release all the way down. Release your hands. Bend your knees. Prepare for a bridge. And then draw your shoulder heads down and lift your hips. But try not to flare here. Again, ribs towards the hips. Do you see the difference? Ribs to hips. And then you use your glutes. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the outer hips so you're opening more through the front of the hips rather than the rib cage. But wrap the inner thighs down. Your glutes should be hard. Deep breath in. And then slowly lower all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Just Little rock side to side. And then roll up and down along the spine, all the way over onto your hands and your knees. We'll just take a couple cat-cows. So hands underneath the shoulders. Breathe in, sternum forward. Lift the tailbone, lift the chin bone. And then exhale, round your back. Really dome. Feel that spreading. Pull the chest forward, inhale. So it's really good to mobilize through the shoulder blades. And then exhale to round your back. So really spreading. Good, one more, breathe in. And out, round your back. Good. Find neutral, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. And you can take a little bend into the knees, lift your hip creases, spin the inner thighs back, and find a long spine. So if you need to bend your knees more, do that. Squeeze the upper arms in. Lift the hip creases. Good. Bend your left knee, send your right heel towards the ground. So you're waking up through the back of your right leg. You might even take a little side stretch as you swing the hips over towards the left, stretching into your lats. So good. I love those feel-good sensations. Come back to center and bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, press your thigh bone back. Press into your hands so you get long through the torso, and then maybe the hips swing a little bit over to the right and you stretch into the left hip, left waist, and left lats. And good. Come back to center, lift your heels up, and just begin to stroll forward. Coming forward all the way. Good. Grab opposite elbows, ragdoll. So you need hamstring length for your headstands eventually, you know, in order to be able to float the legs up. So one of our focuses of today. Release the arms, release your neck, and just roll up one vertebrae at a time. So we're trying to just create fluidity, connection. So connecting each segment or moving one segment at a time all the way up. Hands to the heart. Inhale, interlace hands, elbows wide. And exhale, press your palms forward, round your back, gaze down. Lift your arms up and stretch the whole front body. Big yawn. Interlace the hands behind your back. Draw the shoulder blades together, open the chest, and fold all the way. Release your hands down. And step your right foot back, lower your knee. Underneath your hip, reach your arms up. Good, you know I love this one. Interlace the hands behind your head. Wrap the elbows forward. So from the front, it's gonna look like this, just like your headstand. Yeah. Pull the front thigh bone back, squeeze your right glute to open through the front of the hip, and then work to lift your elbows, but soften the front ribs down. Lift the elbows, soften those ribs. Squeeze the right glute, and you'll feel that long line from the right knee all the way through your right elbow. Big stretch. Press the head back into the hands. Take one more breath in. And then slowly release your hands all the way down. Straighten both legs. You can use your blocks. They're just nice. Pull the left hip crease back. Your right heel can stay lifted. You pull that left hip crease back. Front big toe presses down. And I like to keep my spine nice and long so that you're not rounding, we're looking for length and spaciousness. Good. And then imagine the feet magnetizing towards each other so the legs become more active. Just take one more breath. And out. Good. Lower your right knee. Step your left knee back to meet the right, blocks out of the way. And we're gonna do what I call scapula push-up. So we're just gonna be moving through the shoulders and your arms stay straight. Everything else stays almost like it's in cement. We're just going to sink into the shoulders so the shoulder blades squeeze together and then actively press away. You sink and then you press away. So notice the arms stay straight, sink, good, and press. Again, sink and press. One more, sink, good, and then press away. And you keep that pressing action so you fill out the shoulder blades. Step one foot back to plank, other foot. Press the skull back so the chin is level. Neck is always in line with the spine, so we're not collapsing. Squeeze your butt. That's really valuable in headstand, to squeeze your butt when you're trying to get your legs straighter. And then slowly lower all the way down. And point your toes. Hands by the ribs. Lift your chest. Press your pubic bone down and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Take one more breath here. Maybe the hands lift and hover. All the back muscles working. And then release. Good. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Press to plank. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. Amazing. Lift your heels. Lift your right leg high. Squeeze that right glute. Lift your left hip crease. And then draw your knee to your chest. So squeeze the knee to your nip. Keep it hugging in the whole way. Step through. You can always grab the ankle. Lower the back knee down. Reach your arms out. And then, again, interlace hands behind your head. Wrap the elbows forward. So you create this little hammock for your head. Pull that right thigh bone back. Squeeze the left glute and lift through the frontal hips. Soften the front ribs down as you glide the elbows up. So you're lengthening the space between the elbows and the ribs. Just a couple more breaths here. Let it be active, but also at ease. Good. One more breath. And out. Good. Release your hands. Straighten both legs. Long pyramid stretch. Back heel stays lifted. And you can use your blocks for more spaciousness. I love space. Space is love. Front big toe down. Pull that right hip crease back. And then imagine those feet magnetizing towards each other. So your inner thighs are working. Your right hamstring is working as you traction the foot back. Breathe in. And out. And bend the knee, step forward. Again, just ragdoll. Keep the legs a little bit firm. Inner thighs spin back. Relax the base of your neck. Creating space. You can shake your head yes or no. You can even sway side to side and you get a little bit of a release into your lower back. Even your outer hips, sides of your waist. Good. And then release. And again, roll up. One vertebrae at a time. All the way, stacking head on top of your shoulders, hands to heart. Breathe in, interlace hands, elbows wide. And exhale, press your palms forward, round your back, look down. And lift your arms out. And then take the hands behind your back. Try opposite thumb on top. Lift the sternum. So it's good to get some spaciousness in the chest and then fold. I like a bend in the knees so the belly can come closer towards the thighs. And then Release. Step your left foot back. Frame your foot. Good. And from here, you're going to keep that back thigh lifted and then extend the chest forward. Good. Take the hands back by the hips. Good. Firm your inner thighs in, so squeeze those outer hips in, and it's like the inner thighs are scissoring past each other. Open the collarbones so the shoulder heads go back. Good. And just a little dynamic movement to warm through the legs so they eventually can be engaged and be light. Okay, reach the arms up, bend your back knee, hover. Good, and then sweep the hands back by your hips. Keep the chest nice and open the whole time. Good, bend the back knee, hover, arms by the ears. Nice and buoyant, and then sweep the hands back by the hips. Good, reach the arms by the ears, hover. Good, and then hands back by your hips. Good, from here, arms up, you can bend the back knee as much as you like. And again, that scissoring action, inner thighs squeezing in, same thing, interlace the hands behind your head, wrap the elbows forward. So it's a little bit more work here, a little bit more stability that's required. The front ribs anchor down and the elbows lift up. So I like to squeeze the left glute, and you can feel the opening in the front of the left hip. Maybe working to press that thigh, but notice if you go into a real kind of flare of the ribs, then you need to bend that back knee a little bit. Soften the ribs down, lift the elbows. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release the hands. Again, straighten both legs. You're welcome, again, to use the blocks. We're going to take it into a twist now. Extend the spine. Take the right thumb into the right hip crease. Pull the hip crease back. Pull the sternum forward. And then you just start to rotate a little bit towards the right. Good. And you don't want to rotate too much that you start to dip through that left hip. All right? So the pelvis is stable. Extend the spine. And you're rotating through the thoracic. That's the middle of your spine, or the middle of your back. Good, right arm lifts. Good, press down into your left hand, lift out of your left shoulder. And then option to take your right hand behind your head. I'm gonna wrap that elbow forward and extend through my right elbow and my right hip crease. And then I might open a little bit more. Good, one more breath. And then release. Lower the left knee, move the block, step your right knee back, tabletop. So you can do the scapula push-ups again if this was plenty strong for you. Or you can take it back to a plank, and we'll do them from here. So tuck your chin, press your skull back, squeeze your butt, lift your thighs. And then we lower, sinking into the shoulders, and then actively press away, filling them out. Good, sink. And press while keeping the chest nice and open. So we're not going so far that we can't extend or widen the collarbones, okay? Sink and press. 2 more. Squeeze and press like you're squeezing a lemon, juicing a lemon between your shoulder blades. And press. And then lower all the way down. Regardless of if you go up into headstand or not, you're just really strengthening and mobilizing the shoulders, feet down. Lift the chest, which is just so good for everyday life. And then we will come into upward facing dog. If you're ready, draw the shoulder heads back, gaze just straight forward. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Lift your heels, lift your left leg, and continue to lift your right hip crease, squeeze your left glute. And draw your knee into your chest and step between your hands. Bend into your right knee. So back thigh stays lifted, squeeze your right glute. Chest forward. Take the hands back by your hips in line with the torso. And exhale, empty the lungs. And then inhale, bend the back knee. Hover, lift the arms up so you're becoming vertical in the spine. Sweep the hands back, pull that left hip crease back. Deep bend in that front knee. And then arms by the ears, bend the back knee, hover, frontal hips lift. Good. Again, hands back by the hips. And then bend. So good for your balance. Good. Last one, hands back by the hips. Good. And then arms by your ears. Here we go. Bend your elbows, opposite thumb on top. Wrap the elbows forward. Soften your front ribs down. Lift the elbows up. Squeeze that right glute. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. And continue to anchor those front ribs down like there's weights attached to them, but the elbows go up. Good. And then just release your hands all the way down. Straighten both legs. If you want to use your blocks, go for it. And so pull your left hip crease back. Right hand stays down underneath the shoulder. I'm going to bring my left hand to my left hip actually. Pull the hip crease back, extend the spine. Welcome to use a block. And then start to take a little twist. Ooh, little crack in my neck. It's all working. Little self-chiro, I find yoga can be. And then pull those left ribs back. So the pelvis is stable. Pick up through your right hip and then pulling those left ribs on top of the right. Left arm can go up. And then option to take the left hand behind your head, press your head back, wrap the elbow forward, and then extend through your left elbow, and then press your left hip crease back so they reach in opposition, and then try to twist a little bit more. Good. Deep breath in. And out. Lower your left hand down, step forward. And relax your head, dangle your arms. The last little roll up, one vertebrae at a time, like an inchworm, one segment at a time. Feet together, bend your knees, arms by the ears, chair. Let's sit lower, double lunge, lower, and lower, and lower, all the way down. You're gonna come all the way onto your back, okay? On your back, extend your legs long, just like we did at the beginning. Now we're gonna focus on the strength of our hip flexors. So that's that tuck feeling when we come up into the headstand with the knees tucked into the chest so that you're creating more stability. Right, we do everything in stages. So hug your right knee in, interlace the hands on top of your right knee, squeeze the knee into the chest. Good, and then point your left toes, hover your left toes off of the mat. And then lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Keep the knee hugging in, so your work is to not let it spring away when you release your hands, and then take your hands behind your head, wrap the elbows. Try to lift your elbows and then press your head back, extend your spine, elbows back, keep squeezing the right knee into your chest so it doesn't spring away. It's in nice and tight. Point your left toes. One more breath. I laugh because I'm shaking. Good, and release. Good, and then other side, extend your right leg. Interlace hands on top of your left knee. Squeeze that knee in. Wrap your right inner thigh down. And point your toes, especially your right toe, lift your right foot off, so then your lower back can press down. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders, ribs to hips.
And then hands behind your head, wrap the elbows forward. Rather than curling into a ball, I want you to actually take the head back. Extend your elbows. Squeeze that left knee into your chest so the hip flexor is switched on. 3. Squeeze the legs towards the center. 2. And 1. Just release and then lower. Good. Place both feet down. Let's just take another bridge and we'll do an interlace. We're just opening the chest a little bit. And feet down, lift your hips. Interlace the hands. Press the pinkies down. You can roll onto your upper arms. Press the pinkies down. And then from here, notice how my butt's dropping. You're going to draw the pubic bone towards the belly button and continue to put the pinkies down. Wrap the inner thighs down. Hug your outer knees and outer hips in as your tailbone lifts up into the pelvis. And then slowly lower all the way down. And hug your knees into your chest. Roll up and down along the spine, all the way over, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Lift your heels up. Lift your right leg high. Inhale. Take your knee to your right upper arm, so you're using that hip flexor strength again. And then lift your leg up and back. Point your toes like you would in headstand. Knee to your left upper arm, squeeze. Lift your leg up and back. Knee into your chest. Let's just do one shin tap. Tap the shin down and then lift it up. Step between your hands. Bend into your front knee. Set the feet out for warrior 1. Squeeze that right hip in. Lift your arms. Deep breath in. And you can press the palms if you like. Go into your front leg. Lift the frontal hips. Squeeze that back leg. And front ribs soften down. Inhale. Good. And then take the hands behind the back. Interlace the hands. Lift the chest. Inhale. And then bow inside of your front leg. Squeeze the right hip in. And you're just getting a nice opening in front of the chest. Relax your neck. Lift the fist. One more breath. And release. Left hand, one hand span forward, spin all 10 toes to the right. Just reverse Skandasana, just to release your right hip a little bit. Yeah, and you get a nice side waist stretch. Lift the hip or the arm up and over, spin over to the left, and parallel the feet. Take the hands to the hips, pin the elbows back. So from the side, rather than dropping the shoulders, you open the front of the chest, elbows pin back. Good. And then firm the outer hips, outer feet in, take the weight more into the toes, and you start to hinge without losing the length in the spine. So if you start to round, I want you to come up higher. And hold and breathe. Elbows pin back, open the chest. Neck is long. And release your hands. Breathe in, lift up halfway. Walk all the way to the top of the mat. Step your left foot forward. Interlace your hands in front of your right knee and lift the knee up into your chest. Press your left thigh back. Here we go. Our little stag, but now we have to work against gravity. Reach your arms up. Try to lift your right knee. Woo. Balance is a fickle friend. One more breath. And release. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Left foot back, lower the knee. Right hand, right thigh, reach your left arm up, breathe in. And take the left elbow to the right knee. So we're gonna come into the twist. You can stay with the knee down, right hand on top of the left, and I want you to extend the spine. The head is in line with your tail. Good, lift the right belly off of your right thigh. Firm the right hip and the right knee to center. And then lift your back thigh. Squeeze your left glute. Yeah, so that thigh presses up against the pelvis. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hands, lower your left knee. Step your right knee back. Dolphin round 1. Lower your forearms. Let's interlace the hands this time. No block. Yeah, we're kind of getting used to that interlace grip. You can keep it a loose grip like you would for headstand. The palms are open, or together, you know. Go easy with yourself. Be flexible, but as precise as possible. Elbows under the shoulders, round your back. And rather than sinking into the shoulders, you press away, just like we did in those scapula push-ups. Tuck the toes, lift your knees. Good. Walk your feet in. Okay, we're going to just lift the heels, stay here. This might be enough, or squeeze the right knee into the chest. Good. And you hold and you breathe. Press away, lift out of the shoulders, squeeze the heel to the butt. 3, and 2, and 1. Lower the foot. Walk your feet back, forearm plank, inhale, and then lower the pelvis, sphinx, pull the chest forward, lift the sternum up, good, and then hands by the ribs, good. Upward facing, 2, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift your heels. Other side. Lift your left leg high. Deep breath in. Draw your knee to your left upper arm. Squeeze all the way forward into your plank. Left heel to bum. Lift the leg up and back. Knee to your right upper arm, squeeze. Lift the leg up and back. Knee to your chest, bring it in. Step forward. Bend the knee, set up for warrior 1. You can widen the feet for balance. Stability, left hip firms in. Lift your arms up. Deep breath in. Good. And then go into your front thigh. Pick up pubic bone to belly button. Wrap the right side of the body forward. And then hands behind the back. Extend the chest to the ceiling and then bow. And keep those hips firming to the center. Left hip in. And then as you go forward, lift the shoulder heads, but release the base of your neck like a piece of fruit on a branch. It's just heavy, it dangles. Release your hands. Right hand, one hand span forward, spin all 10 toes to the left. Suspend your right hip so you feel that hip stretch, waist. Lift the arm up and over, all the way to the right. Align the heels, lift up halfway, and then exhale, hands to hips. Pin those elbows back. From here, we take an interlace, open the chest, deep breath in, weight in towards the toes, and again, the spine stays long. So if you start to round, this is not what we're looking for, right? We want to find space space and length. So you might just be here, or the movement comes from your hip joint, right? We isolate that so that we don't use the spine. Take one more breath. Release your arms, spin all the way back to the top of the mat. Step forward. Interlace your hands around your left knee. Lift the chest. Lift the knee. Press your right thigh back. Squeeze your right glute. And then reach your arms up. Stay. Good. Knee to your chest. Take one more deep breath in. And slowly release. Inhale. Circle the arms. Fold. Halfway lift. Extend the spine. Right foot back. Lower the knee. Left hand, left thigh. Reach your right arm up. Big breath in. And we take the twist. Right elbow to the left knee. And then lift out of that right shoulder. Press the head back in line with the tail. Squeeze that left hip in. And that knee firms to center. Left hand to the right. Lift your sternum up to the thumbs. Left belly lifts. You stay. Or back thigh. And squeeze your right glute. Open your left chest. One more breath. Yeah, just even the mental stamina of holding something is so good to start to prep you for headstand. Lower the right knee, step your left knee back. Dolphin, other side. Interlace hands, elbows on the shoulders. Sink into your shoulders so you feel the difference. Press away around the back. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, walk your feet in. And then heels lift. Stay lifted on your right toe. Squeeze the left knee to your chest. Try to lift up through that left hip crease and the right hip crease. Press away. Squeeze everything. Try to get higher. And then release. Walk your feet back. Forearm plank. And lower. Sphinx. Inhale. And stay lifted, hands by the ribs. So you use your back muscles, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. Lower your knees. Come onto your shins. So this is a good time. We're going to play with our headstand now. You're welcome to move to a wall. Okay, so safety first, always. We're going to set up in the similar way that we did. We're going to interlace our hands, forearms down. And for your elbows, you want to make sure that they're directly under your shoulders, not too wide. That becomes less stable. Yeah, almost like you're creating an equilateral triangle. Interlace your hands, a little loose grip. And then you take the top of your head, press it into the middle of the triangle. And notice if you're shrugging into your shoulder, so from the front it kind of looks like this, you're going to work to lift your shoulders. It's the same action that we did, broadening the back. Okay, so the head is down. We'll do this twice. We'll do each side. You broaden across the back, tuck the toes, lift your knees. So you can always stay right here. This can be plenty. You press into the forearm so the head is light. Bring your right knee into your chest. Good, so you come onto your left toes. You might stay here. Good, or variation 2 is you hug that left knee into your chest. And you might just stay here. Good, if you're a little bit more advanced, you can squeeze that right knee in and then start to just lift your left leg up. Keep your right knee hugging in. Do not lift both legs. So your right knee is into your chest wherever you are. Maybe the left knee into the chest. And then you can lower both feet. Come down. Take a child's pose. Forehead down. You can make a little pillow for your forehead. Give your shoulders a little break. And just a moment to reflect. Okay, what happened on that side? Did I straighten my legs? Because sometimes we just don't know what happens when we go upside down. And we're building that strength of being in each stage. So just the knees into the chest and having full control there before we lift the legs. And being at home requires being really honest with yourself. So use the wall if you need. Round 2. And so come back onto your knees. On your forearms, make your little interlace, little basket. Crown of the head down. Tuck the toes. Lift your knees. Walk your feet in. And then you'll hug your left knee into your chest. And you can stay here or right knee in. All right, so you'll just be staying here or left knee to chest, extend your right leg high. And then leave a little bit of juice so that you can come down with grace, one foot then the other. And then child's pose again. And it's so nice. Just observe the energy, the energetic shift. All that energy kind of pinging around. Good. And then you'll just lift up. We're going to come into fish, or I'm going to do supported fish. I think with the blocks is really, really nice. So you'll have one block underneath your shoulder blades, and then you can have one under your head or not. You might want to just do the low height. It doesn't need to be a big extension. We're just trying to release the neck a little bit. So one block under the shoulder blades, release your head, and you can always bring another block underneath your head. Take your arms beside you. And now you're just kind of letting yourself open up across the front of the body, the throat, upper body's in Shavasana. Let everything integrate, so just slowing down, giving yourself time. Take 3 more breaths. And you'll just roll to the side. Find that to be the easiest way. And I'll just come up to a seat. So we're just going to take Sukhasana, or if you have fire log or your double pigeon, you're welcome to. You're just going to cross one shin in front of your other. So I have my left foot underneath my right knee. Feet are flexed. Yeah, and you have that option of bringing the ankle. But if you're really kind of high, it's just not going to be as valuable. A little bit too stressful. So hands by the hips, lift the sternum, almost like you're sticking your butt out just a little bit, especially if you're not super flexible. And then you'll start to lean forward. And this can be plenty, or you can bring your forearms down. Deep breath in. And a full breath out.
And then just lift all the way up. Look your hands back. Good. Opposite shin in front. Just enjoy the end of class after you've done all the work. Deep breath in. And just letting yourself absorb the aftermath. Couple more breaths. And then just lift all the way up. And extend your legs. And then come all the way down onto your back. We're just going to come into Shavasana. And take your arms out and really just enjoy this sprawling position of not having to do anything. Right? So it's in these moments we start to remember. We create memories of how we feel, of how we felt in the movement. And you're just absorbing and integrating. Give yourself permission to rest. You are welcome to stay here for as long as you like or you can. When you're ready, reach your arms behind you. Big stretch. Point your toes. And then hug your knees into your chest. And just roll to the side. Find a comfortable seat. Just bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth. Just take a little bow to your efforts. Making peace with your efforts. Going easy with yourself. Being kind to yourself and being lighthearted in your approach. Namaste. Have a great day.